Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 13 in my 1988 Topps Mini Leaders box. Trying to see how many packs I have to crack to get all 77 cards in the complete set. I've added a link to the preview video to the description below, which gives a little explanation on the set and the highlights of what I can pull in cracking these packs. Since each pack only has 7 cards in it, move this out of the way, I will guess which category each player led their league, then I'll flip the card over to see how right I was or how very bad my memory was of the 1987 season. I've got my nifty checklist here, so let's mark off pack number 13 and hope that we get closer. I believe when I counted after yesterday, or after the last video, I was 13 cards away, so let's see if I can get closer to completing this set. Not too bad, 12 packs into it, and been able to complete virtually the entire set. So let's get rid of Spring Fever Baseball Yellowness and get to cracking this pack. So I'll zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, that looks about good right there. Okay, first card out of the pack is Dwight Evans. So we've seen Dwight Evans. Let's get him marked off. Okay. Dwight Evans had a career year in 1987. If I remember correctly, he was a league leader in home runs, RBI, batting average, and hits. I think were the 3. Okay, so runs batted in, or RBI, he was second. On base percentage, he was third. Home runs, he was tied for third. And runs, he was tied for 5th. He also ranked first in walks. So I was a little off on the hits piece. Dwight Evans, I think, is a Hall of Famer. If his teammate Jim Rice is a Hall of Famer, Dwight Evans definitely is one as well. If you go and check Baseball Reference, home runs, RBI, batting average are pretty close between the two of them. Where the big gap is in WAR, W-A-R, wins above replacement. And Dwight Evans surprisingly leads Jim Rice by quite a distance. All right, next card that we have is Willie Wilson. Willie Wilson was a main contributor to the Orioles' playoff runs in the mid to late 70s and into the 80s. Really was an underrated star, I think. He was a good player, sometimes a great player. He was a league leader in a lot of different categories when it came to steals, triples, on base percentage, hits as well. So for this one, Willie Wilson, I believe, was a league leader in stolen bases, triples. I don't know if it was batting average this year. So he was second in stolen bases with 59 and first in triples with 15. I don't understand. Topps had plenty of room. Why didn't they put triples in bold? It was the least that they could do. Wilson played the majority of his career with the Royals and then ended up with the Oakland A's for the last, I think, 2 or 3 years in his career. Next we have Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. So it looks like we've got maybe a complete pack of doubles. Puckett was just on the cusp of superstardom. 87 was the first year where he saw a big leap in his home runs and his RBI. He was already establishing himself as a really good on-base machine, batting average and hits. For this particular one, I'm going to go with doubles, batting average, runs, heck, I'll throw in hits. So he was first in hits with 207 and fourth in batting average. Quite wasn't there with runs and doubles yet. But, you know, Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. It's unfortunate his career had to end very soon with eye problems. He probably could have played on for another 5 or 6 years. But he unfortunately also passed away about 2000, I want to say somewhere around 2005, 2006. Oh, dropping cards. Okay, next we have Gary Redus. Gary Redus is one of these odd ones that doesn't quite fit in, but for whatever reason, Topps was true to league leaders, and Gary Redus, the only thing he led the league in 1987 or was part of the league leaders was stolen bases. So he was third in stolen bases with 52. Other than that, not very remarkable season. 236 batting average with 90 strikeouts. Played in about 140 games. But, you know, he was a league leader in strikeouts. Next we have John Kruk. Famous, player with the 1990 Phillies. I think he had one of the famous quotes. Someone was chiding about being in shape, and he said, "I'm not an athlete. I'm a baseball player." John Kruk had a lot of really funny memories. In '87, which I think was a year where he had a pretty high batting average and hits. So I'm going to go with batting average and hits. So he was 4th in batting average with 313 and 6th with on-base percentage with 406. It appears that he didn't play quite a full year, so he didn't have a ton of hits, but he had enough at-bats to qualify for the batting average race. Okay, next we have Robin Yount, Hall of Famer. Robin Yount spent his entire career with the Milwaukee Brewers. First came up as a shortstop, played a number of years as shortstop, and then moved to the outfield, was a center fielder. Yount in '87 had a pretty good year as well. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he was a league leader in home runs, but he was a league leader in batting average, doubles, and runs. Gal, I was way off, and we've already had his card before. I got to remember game-winning RBI. I constantly forget game-winning RBI. So he was second, tied with 17 game-winning RBI. I believe Carlton Fisk was also second with 17 game-winning RBI. 5th in hits with 198, 4th in triples with 9, and 10th in batting average with a 312 average. Final card of the pack is Roger McDowell. This one's going to be a slam dunk for us. Roger McDowell spent his entire career as a reliever, and so he was a league leader in saves. So, yep, he was 5th in saves with 25. He was also 6th in games finished with 45. Roger McDowell was quite a comedian, made it onto a Seinfeld episode, the famous episode that also had Keith Hernandez in it. Well known as a joker and having a sense of humor in Major League Baseball. Best card out of the pack, or my favorite card out of the pack, I'm going to go with John Kruk. I think the guy was hilarious. I really enjoyed his commentary when he became an MLB analyst. Had a number of just really kind of funny sayings that followed him around. Became pretty well known when the Phillies went to the World Series in 1993. He was part of that kind of gruff softball playerish Phillies team. So had a great career and continued on as, you know, in MLB being an analyst. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Also share with me in the comments what your favorite card or what you thought was the best card in the pack. Until next time when I crack the next pack of 1988 Topps Mini Leaders in my quest to complete the set.